Well, the Fed decision comes up tomorrow. Chair Powell, of course, has his follow-up remarks after that. And then labor information coming out tomorrow also and Friday as the big stories. And that's where all the concentration is. Bonds are down this morning, suggesting that the bond market is fairly comfortable with the stuff that's going to be happening later this week, but the markets are down. And I'm beginning to have this feeling, because we are down 10%, because we've had these retracements, maybe we're fishing around for a bottom right now. And who knows how the market will end up today. It probably as good a guess would be up or down, one of the two. There's plenty of good news other news rather, not necessarily good, but apparently mostly good. 150 of the 500 S&P stocks are reporting this week. And so far, that's looking okay to good. Apple announced a bunch of new hardware overnight, and most of the early reporting on that seems to be good. They have some kind of an announcements or meetings today. And then they have their earnings on Thursday, the biggest company in the world. So that's, important. And most people are expecting a beat. So I don't know. Maybe this is maybe there's looking a bottom forming, and sometimes that can take weeks. So who knows? But November is supposed to be the second best month for stocks out of in the last 25 years, according to Siegel. All right. This is Randy Kirk. Hit like and subscribe and notify. You've got more Brian coming today. And thank you very much. My new afternoon show got great results yesterday afternoon. And so you might want to, if you like what I do here in the morning, we're doing kind of a flip of that after hours, just about the time that the pre-market starts. So at 4:30 California time is when the bond futures or the bond pre-market is live. And so that's when I start the show. And then I record it. And then somewhere between 5 and 5:10 right now, it looks like, is when it'll come out. And that's California time. All right. So here's some stuff that happened over the last hours. Okay. Rob Maurer added more color to the Panasonic story. He says that an honest reading would show that their overall business is increasing in the U.S., so the Japanese slight adjustment in their numbers, that was just cherry picking. Somebody may be looking for a bad story or looking for a story that would grab a headline with Tesla's name in it and something negative about it. So an honest or a competent reporter would have really been reporting on the fact that Panasonic's U.S. business is expanding, growing, and they are intentionally working hard for a future there, which they believe is going to be extremely strong. And then the ON report, the ON semiconductor company, that report was way more nuanced than at first glance. Also, so shaky reporting on both of those. I think a case could be made that those were both positive for Tesla, but were actually shown as negatives. Jeff Lutz is reporting this morning. The Jeff Lutz is how he calls himself on X. He says the U.S. EV adoption through the third quarter of 23 is now at 8%, and it was at 5% the same time last year. And now 36% of all cars sold in China are now EVs. And the numbers in Europe are also extremely strong. So his suggestion is, no, there's nothing to suggest that the EV story is over or even slowing down. The United States is now coming close to that 10% number where you expect the S-curve to accelerate. I also wanted to follow up on the idea of selling more shares of Tesla to increase the cash hoard. I mentioned that yesterday because of that story that Herbert had on the other day. As much as I think that there's a lot to suggest that would be good about that idea, overall, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's a chance it's going to happen. And I can think of a couple of negative aspects as well. I'm not going to spend any more time on it unless there's a significant change in mood or suggestion that might actually be on the table. I don't think it's even remotely on the table. I also want to add to that same story, the Nicholas Costa story, interview with Herbert. In his analysis of the major players that will potentially be a big deal in 2030, it is particularly odd that there was absolutely no mention of Geely or SAIC. And there's a couple of other big Chinese makers, very significant producers right now, multiple brands and factories around the world, and already significant forays into electrification. In fact, Geely and SAIC have some of the most popular brands out there, like MG, Volvo, and Polestar. So it was a really, really good hour. I really enjoyed it, but there was a lot missing, and I'm not sure why there was so much missing in that report, so much off in that report. Gary Black has been providing lists of Tesla catalysts for years now on X, and he's got a current list. It's very different from my list, although some things are the same. So let's just go down it for fun. He says we've got the Model 3 Highland launch in Q4. So I doubt that's going to happen before the end of the year. Maybe there'll be some announcement before the end of the year. I think we're going to see it in early January. And that, in this case, of course, he's talking about for the U.S. He doesn't say that in the list here, but that's what he's talking about, because, of course, it's already launched in China and in Europe. I think the real catalyst here is going to be how the sales are in China and in Europe. And yes, when it's introduced in the United States, there could be some positivity there. Number two, he says the Cybertruck deliveries launch coming at the end of this month. I think that is a catalyst, but I think there's other things around the Cybertruck that will be a bigger catalyst, like the beginnings of third-party reviews. I think that's going to be very, very important. Number three, it says FSD OEM licensing deal in the fourth quarter. Wow, that's an interesting prediction. Could happen. I don't know that there's any new news on that would suggest it will happen in the fourth quarter, but hey, Gary, that's a very positive idea. Hope it happens. There could be other licensing deals as well. Doesn't just have to be FSD. Number four, he says stable auto gross margins. So in other words, I guess what he's looking for here is that we would see possible price increases as opposed to price decreases during the fourth quarter. That would show stability. But otherwise, we won't know about margins until the end of January. So again, not sure why he's showing this. Oh, I'm sorry, that says full year 24. I misread that. Stable auto gross margins in full year 24, which we will begin to see at the end of January. Then he says the $7,500 instant rebate in the first quarter of 2024. Yes, I think that will be definitely a potential catalyst. Then he's got the Fed's pivot on interest rates. Most people don't see that pivot happening before May, June of next year. He's got it full year 24. I think that will be a catalyst. I think that the belief that it's going to happen by the survey will be the bigger catalyst than the actual decision by the Fed. Although when this Fed actually reduces interest rates for the first time, that certainly will be a catalyst. But there will be the surveys that they take of Fed expectations that will begin to indicate that they think there's a cut coming, and that will be a catalyst. He's got Tesla. $10 billion share buyback sometime in 2024. Not going to happen. Sorry, Gary. That's your hobby horse, not mine. Number 8, full self-driving version 12, level 4 alpha increase in full year 2024. So he's giving that a lot of room. I think that happens sooner rather than later. I think version 12 that's something that could actually happen later this year, but it obviously could be early next year. Hard to call on that one. And then he's got the $25,000 to $30,000 compact full year 25. So I'm sure what he's talking about here is production in 25. I think we will see a reveal on that product in 2024. And I also think there's a very good chance we'll see the beginnings of some kind of production, maybe a handover in 24 out of the Austin factory. And then his final one, finally, then he has a $300 price target for 6 to 12 months. For me, that is a that's an all-time high of 410 at the end of quarter one. At the end of January. After the earnings call. My record right now is not great. The last couple of months, we all know I'm going to be off by about 100 points as of today. I was calling for a 275 on today, and it's still possible. The day is not over. All right, now here's a shocking article. This is from Business Insider. Tesla's enduring power is even clearer after the EV competition in Detroit falls flat. This is from Alistair Barr. He says traditional auto companies were supposed to catch Tesla in the EV market. Obviously not happening. This past week shows how badly Detroit has failed with EVs. Duh. And then the whole auto market is getting tougher. Tesla looks better prepared than Ford and GM. Wow, from Business Insider. All right, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is out this morning showing slightly higher than expected wage increases over the past quarter of 1.1 versus 1.0 expected. That is a quarterly number, so being off by 10% is not significant. The yearly gain was slightly down from last quarter's report. Last quarter was 4.6%, now down to 4.3 on a year-over-year basis for the quarter. That is good news for the Fed, still about 1% higher than they would like to see on a year-over-year basis. Gene Munster, and he goes on X, he's called Munster_Gene. He says, shifting gears to Tesla, Bloomberg reporting UAW starting to organize at Fremont. The union is immediately trying to capitalize on their success with the big three. Well, good for them. I will be looking forward to that battle between Fain and Musk. That'll be the new thing. In fact, Fain versus Musk. That sounds like a good. In fact, I guess I probably used that as a thumbnail, didn't I? Okay, for the week of October 23 to 29, Tesla their China reporting is at 10,800 insurance registrations. That's slightly under what you might expect this time of month because the Model 3s are just starting to be delivered in China. So expect that number to be up substantially next week. Truflation this morning is nice and flat at 2.39. So that's very, very good news as we go into the Fed meeting. And then this, Tesla has all the necessary permits for Mexico, according to an article in Teslarati. Tesla is coming. Tesla is working. Tesla, in some way, has already started construction, just like the government of Nuevo Leon. We are doing it at the same time. They already have all their federal and state permits. They already gave us all that they need to start construction, so we can assure that Tesla is coming to Nuevo Leon, according to an official. I didn't write down his name. I'm sorry. The official highlighted that Nuevo Leon is expecting a lot of foreign investment, which translates into more jobs in the region. He also noted that Nuevo Leon is looking to attract companies that are related to sectors of the future, such as electromobility. He says, we are looking to industry for 4.0 technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, electromobility. There's electricity. They have plenty of electricity. We have plenty of water, plenty of gas. Okay, a pitch for the territory, but apparently Tesla has all that they need now to begin construction in Mexico. So Elon did say that would happen in the first half. I'd like to see it happening early in the first half. It would really make my heart leap to see that progress is being made, along with the same thing for construction in Reno and construction of the new Megapack factory in Shanghai and more construction in Berlin. All those things. It's more fun when progress is being obviously made on lots of fronts like that. All right, let's look at where we are as of now. We have the Dow Jones down 90. We got the NASDAQ down 80. We got the S&P down 11. We've got Tesla trying to go back into the green. It was in the green, and now it's slightly in the red again, but down 50 cents. And all of the Mag 7 are all down. Let's look at percentages. Let's look at the percentages here. So the Dow is down 0.25%. NASDAQ is down 0.64. S&P down 0.25. Again, Tesla almost even, but almost all the mags are down now more than Tesla. So Tesla, like I said, I think Tesla has been looking for a bottom. I think maybe they're finding the bottom. Tesla's back in the green again. We'll look again, of course, just before we take off today, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised by anything today. Some days you got a feeling, other days you don't. I think the S&P is looking, or the S&P, the NASDAQ, all of them are looking for that bottom right now after going down 10%. Tesla is down 50% for the year, a little over 50%. I think there's going to be some folks looking for opportunities down there, I forgot her name. The Cathie Wood stocks. They are all mixed up, totally mixed. Some in the green, some in the red. Tesla now back down. Okay, let's look into the other numbers here. We have got the Bitcoin down 200 at 34. So I guess this ETF thing is just taking way longer than everybody expected. So it's down a little. We've got the dollar, staying high, ebbing a tiny bit, maybe. Gold down $2.90, but still at 2008. We have got oil down 21 cents at 82 bucks. I love that. Stay right there, oil. Go down even more if you want, but they'll go up. And then we got bonds down 2 basis points on the 10-year at 4.858. Let's see what's happening to the 2-month. The 2-month is down about up about 1 basis point. The 2-year is up 3 basis points. So what do we got again? We got the inversion getting stronger. That's really weird, given where we are in the market right now. I don't have a read. I can't figure out why that's taking place. Okay, and then going back to Tesla again, just for fun, back in the green. It is going like this in between the red and the green right now, so right around the break point. All right, so Ryan and I, yesterday, we talked about his brand new Model Y. You want to see that if you didn't already see it. Most of you did, because it got, 10,000 views or something. And then today we look at the overall, we also looked at the overall situation with Tesla with all the negative reporting and made sense of it. Today, we're going to take a harder look at that Herbert article again, and we're going to look at all the various competition line by line, and what we think, what Brian thinks, what I think in terms of the other EV makers, where they might be in 2030. I think you'll find that to be a really interesting opportunity this afternoon. And then, of course, thanks again for everybody that turned out last night for kind of the premiere of my new afternoon show. And show up again tonight if you liked it last night. If you like what we do in the morning, it's kind of the same thing that we do at night, but we're looking at the news between now and 4 o'clock California time, as well as how things are opening up in the markets, including the bond market, the all-important bond market. That's why I'm holding off until 4:30 California time before I actually shoot the video. Okay, and then, I need to take a minute here. I haven't been pitching hard enough. We haven't had a sale, not one single unit sell in the last 3 days. Not one. Well, I had some sales on Amazon. People are willing to pay $30 on Amazon, but no sales from y'all. Okay, a couple of Patreon members joined Saturday, I think Saturday. So we had a great month going on Patreon, a great month going on Cybertruck bottle opener sales, and then it all died. Nobody on Sunday, nobody on Monday. So, come on, it's time. If you haven't joined Patreon yet, you want to. It's only $5 a month to join, and you get 7 days to try it out for free. So this is as good a day as any to say, okay, Randy, let me give it a try. So join Patreon. If you join at the $10 level, you get one of these guys for free in either the plain or the camo. Let me know which one you want. And then if you do the 7-day free trial, you have to wait until you actually make your first payment, and that's when you qualify. Now, there's some of you out there who haven't told me what you want yet. You've joined, you've paid your $10. It's, you know, you're qualified now. I need to know whether you want this or whether you want one of the free books, the audio books. And then for those of you who do not still want to join for some reason, Patreon, and get that breaking news all day long, as well as just support the channel, then you can buy one of these for $25. It's the deal of the century as an item for you to show your friends when you're doing tailgating, or whether you're down at the cabin, or, you know, taking somebody for a ride in your plane. You know, this is something you want to get for yourself. And then, you know, it's so cool. I got, you know, it is 3 millimeters thick, just like you could shoot this with a Tommy gun and it wouldn't penetrate, I think. Well, it's probably not exactly the same stainless steel, so I can't be sure of that. Please don't shoot it. Well, I mean, maybe it would be fun. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Should I look one more time? Let's just look one more time, just for fun, because Tesla's just going like this. Okay, now see, it's up strongly, almost up a full percentage at 198.84. Who knows? We might be back in the 200s before the day is out. I did see one headline in X this morning saying they think that this will be the last day for the 100s for Tesla ever. That was the headline. I mean, it was just somebody making an opinion, but there you go. All right. Looking forward to seeing you later today with Brian, and then with my afternoon show. We got to name that afternoon show the pre-market happy hour. That's too long. Somebody got an idea? Put it in the comments below. It has been great talking to you.